Hello, welcome to our short podcast regarding referencing. This is a brief guide. It is not intended to be a comprehensive resource. Referencing is quite a wide area and there are lots of different conventions. So please use this as a starting point to give you an overview of the information you need, and then refer to our HCA referencing guide, which is found on all Level 4 module pages on StudentNet, and also our website, and there'll be a link to that on the page of our course. So first of all, we're going to look at why we reference, because it is vital you learn to reference your sources. If you don't reference properly, you might lose marks, because you won't have evidenced your research. So how can you get any marks for your research? If you don't reference accurately, you'll lose marks for your communication skills, because correct referencing is expected as a standard on all degree courses. However, in the very worst case scenario, you could be accused of plagiarism, that is copying the work of others. And if that does occur, you might be asked to leave your course. You would certainly be investigated, not just by your course tutor, but by senior management at this college and also from our awarding body. So it's very, very important you learn to reference. Now, the Hereford College of Arts uses the Harvard system of referencing, and this is usual and standard in humanities departments internationally. If you've done a previous degree or different studies at A-level, you might find you've learnt a different referencing system, because there are many sorts of referencing systems, but we use the Harvard referencing system here. If you want more information and some examples, then we have the complete HCA guide and also a website, which I will give you links to from the course page. So let's look at the referencing process, because there are two steps to accurate referencing. The first step is inline citation, and that's within your text. And secondly, there's the reference list and the bibliography. So this guide will examine each in turn and then direct you to further resources. Just in case you're not aware of the key terms, bibliography. Now this is a list of all your reading material presented after your reference list. Citation is a quotation from or reference to any kind of source in your assignment, including when information is paraphrased. And we've covered that already in our research module. We're going to look at that more closely, how we reference our citations. In line, I just mean within your written assignment, your thesis, your essay, or your project, whatever you're doing with written work. When I talk about paraphrasing, I will be talking about how you summarise and refer to information from research sources, but you put those sources in your own words. When I talk about a quotation, this is citing a text directly, word for word, and placing it within quotation marks. And when I talk about sources, I'm talking about your research source, where you found the information you cited. So the first half of this is going to be looking at how we cite in line. In line means inside the text, so it's within your essay. So when you quote or paraphrase your research within your essay, you need to state the surname of the author, the date of publication, and if you're quoting, the page number from which the quote was taken. So just a quick recap: paraphrasing, rewriting key ideas from the text that are relevant to your subject, and quotation is copying out text and formatting it in those quotation marks. So let's have a look at a quotation. Here we have an example from a book, and directly copied, formatted in quotation marks, we have its name is not intended as metaphor, it is literally a work of art, and then we have the author's surname, followed by the date, followed by the page number. And if you notice as well that it's formatted with a space, a line break, between the text and the block quotation, and there'll be a space as well after the quotation. So author's surname, followed by date of publication, followed by the page number. How about paraphrase? Well, same piece of text. Here we don't have a page number, and that might well be because you're not actually summarising the important point on that particular kind of text. You're actually summarising the entire journal or the entire article. So we're summarising what the start of this book discusses and giving an example. So again, we have the author's surname, but here we don't have a page number, it's simply the date of publication. Warburton, 2003. Okay, so moving on to Turnitin. When you submit your essay through Turnitin, you will notice there is a plagiarism score, but please do not panic about this. Any direct quotes that you have used from sources will be picked up as plagiarism, and what you need to do is use this opportunity to go through these quotes or paraphrases and check that you have correctly cited them. It's very important to remember to cite paraphrased material. It's one of the mistakes that students often make. They think if they've got something from an external source, they don't have to worry about saying where it has come from, and you must formally state where you have got that information from. But here we go. Let's talk about when you don't reference. Well, you don't reference if you're describing or explaining your own experiences or ideas. So if you're analysing information, that's your information. It's your analysis. You own it. You don't have to reference it. However, if you're backing it up with evidence, which I would hope you are, that evidence does need to be referenced. Likewise, though, if you're talking about something that's widely recognised as common knowledge, for example, referencing is a vital study skill, you don't need to reference that. But if you are in any doubt, you do need to reference. It is better to err on the safe side and reference your material than risk being accused of plagiarism. Okay, so a three-way process. You have an inline citation for all your research material. That's what I've just discussed. Then a reference list, which gives you further details about your research material used in line, and then a bibliography that lists all the research sources that have informed your argument. So I'm going to stop here. If you'd like to take time out, consider the information you've been given. If necessary, have a look at the printable resource and the website at this point, have a look around, and we'll come back later and we're going to look at how we format the reference list and the bibliography. Thank you.